The most important beginning of this webinar, it's the essence of something which I learned from my childhood. No matter how much I meet aspirants, magicians, who are very much experienced than myself, I saw the same pattern of failure. When I say failure, I'm not speaking the failure in magic, although that was the case, but failure in a way that something that I projected in them simply during time ceased to exist. Mostly people without money, without emotional support, problems with family, patterns in behaviors which was quite the same. And even as a young, I start to see that magic don't work in a way that I wanted to be so. And the main question for you is, why do you need magic? What is the motive which drives you and puts you in a place that you are doing this job for years, not to say decades, or better to say all your life? The other question, which is drawn as soon as I ask you, why do you need magic, is a little bit harsh. And that is, why do you have failure in magic? Because no matter how strong and courage you are in your circle of protection, probably you will not be so courageable before the boss, or even your wife, or mother or father. No matter how skillful are you in lucid dreaming and astral projection, still you will not be able to fix your life in a way as your lucid dreaming is fixed. There is quite a difference between the magical world, or the world in our head, and the real world, which need to have manifestation of our desires, wishes, wills, whatever you want to call that. So, Sigil magic is, how to say, one brilliant example of how differently we could do something without losing efficiency. And quite the contrary. Most things in magic we are doing with our vector level of thinking. Thinking that the more you are trying and more you are practicing, the more chances for success are. Quite the opposite. Like in everything in life, when you want something so eagerly, there is a strong chance that everything will ruin in the beginning. And the job and the money you didn't expect simply show without any problem. So, the main question is, are we doing something wrong with our desire, which eventually will hit and crush desire itself even before the level of manifestation? This is the question. I don't have the answer. I have something which I do, which can bypass the time and the possibility of creation of desire, and I will show and share that to you. But will it work for you? Even now, as I'm speaking, your mind is building autoimmunity and counter-strike toward my mechanism, because simply we are not capable to reach the happiness. Deeply inside ourselves, we don't believe in magic. We need magic, but we don't believe in it. Unfortunately, no matter how skillful are we in our rites, rituals, and meditations, mostly this is not something so much different from ordinary religion. Yet we are so brave and so hush to talk against all religious in the world, proclaiming that it is old eon and it is overcome. But yet the same mechanism we are doing, but in different form. The first and important thing which I want to talk with you is desire. What is desire? Is it a part of a natural biological urge, like sexual desire or eating, drinking? Or is it something much more, like true will? Or all of that is the same and the root of one same idea, one same selfhood, one same child who need same toys for the same play? I don't know, but I suspect that there is a lot of wrongly doing things in our own magic, which simply don't mean that magic is wrong. If you're doing something wrong, if you learn to ride the motorbike or the automobile wrong, it doesn't mean that driving automobile is dangerous. It is dangerous in a way you are driving, but you need to change something. Now, all this shit and bullshit, it's just introductory to show you how important is changing the way we think manifestation of our desire are. Sigil magic and working with the sigil is something which is totally unreal, unlogic, and abstract regarding to our usual way of thinking. Now, suppose that I want you to speak about a wonderful movie that I watched last night with my wife. But there is a chance that simply I cannot remember the name of the movie. What I will do? No matter how strong I will try to remember it, the more I am trying, far away I will be from the remembrance. And I will ask you, you know the movie with the man who turns in the bat or in the... And you will say, the Batman, no, the other one, not the Batman. And we will be more distant from very simple solution. And when will be time when I will remember the name of the movie? When I forget about everything. When we move the subject to something totally irrelevant. Because, okay, sorry, I forget the name of the movie. I will tell you when I remember. Now I skip to another subject, talking about something so stupid that during that time I remember and say, yay, do you remember? Now I remember. So this is exactly the mechanism which is constructed within the sigilization working. This is how sigil work. Without desire, you will reach your wish. Without active and consciousness desire, your focus will never be able to give you a gift, but the gift will come on its own when you forget about it. So, when you want to give your present to your son or daughter, will you say, tomorrow I will give you the book, or I will give you exactly what kind of toy? No, you will say, if you will be good, maybe tomorrow you will get something. And your child will start to think about, but something which is not be able to realize what it is. This is a kind of focus which is not concrete. You don't know what you are thinking about at all. You know that you are thinking, but there is not an object. There is no a pattern of your realization, just straight line of your thought, but without manifestation, without the other concrete end. Your ego wants that end. Why? Because it can crush that end. If you know the name of your enemy, then you can kill your enemy. But if you don't know who it is, if it is a spy, then your ego will have a problem. The mere nature of ego is that your ego wants you for himself eternally, without any gifts, without anything which is not upon his control. Your ego wants to give you present, not me. Your ego wants you to bless him and to make all praising and thankfulness to your ego, because in the end, ego is your real and eternal parent. He is taking care about you because he is doing the heart pumping, the breathing, everything that you need for your life. Your ego will give you, and he wants your gratefulness about that. So when you wish something other than the ego will look upon that as an enemy, because usually we want unreal things. When you want a girl, usually you want something that you are seeing in that girl. Even if that girl is not for you, still you will see projection of your idyllic woman inside of that girl, and in the end you will see that how horrible that relationship will be, because you were unreal. You projected in that girl something which that girl don't have. And your ego knows that. Your ego is frightened of your wishes. Your ego even don't want you to wish anything at all. Even in the system of enlightenment, such as Buddhism, you have two paths. You have paths, and the road, if I'm giving the magical wand to you, saying, whatever you wish, it might come true. So you will say, I wish to have Monica Bellucci for a wife. I want to have a beautiful house. I want to have 10 children. I want to be immortal. I want to fly. And then what? How much desire it's enough so you can leave the wand and say, I don't need it anymore. Unfortunately, all of us know that it will be infinite number of desires in the end that even you don't want, just have an urge to manifest. The other path, it's quite different. If you have knowledge to destroy the urge for desire, you will not have any need for any of desire at all. if you destroy the urge for pleasure, then you will have everything. The man who don't need desire for anything will have everything. In the one way, we have, how to say, practices for fulfilling desires. The other, it's simply psychotherapy with yourself to see what you really truly need. And as long as you work with yourself, the less and less desires you will have, until you will have only one thing to manifest. And that thing we called the true will, or true nature, or holy guardian angel, or selfhood. Name whatever you want, it will be only one. And by doing only this thing, you will never work in your life at all, because that work will not be working. It will be playing. It will be like children playing with toys. It will never be work. And the more you will work upon that single one holy thing, the more energy will you have. Regarding the other desires, the more you are working upon sparing the money for your house, it will be more harder and harder. In the beginning, I want you simply to distinguish two plane of desires, something which is urge and something which is your choosing by your divine right. Now, Sigil and the Sigil magic don't have exactly the need to distinguish these two things, but if you do, everything that you are doing will be much easier for you. I don't want to talk about practical way how you construct the sigil, because you can find it on internet and mostly everybody know. But please, never ever in your life build a sigil which is nice, which is symmetrical, which is logical, which you can easily repeat after you are constructing. No, you need to construct something which is so ugly, without any meaning, without any patterns which is repeating. Sigil, it's not symbol. It is not signed where the museum in the strange country is. It is not a signpost. It will never be signpost, because in case it is signpost, your ego will see it and crush, because we will talk about more about that mechanism later. Whenever you construct it, you need before that to state your desire in one short sentence. Let me suggest that I don't want to feel fear again. Is that a good desire? Probably yes, because fear probably in my life is something which drove me out of manifestation of my happiness, or stopping me to achieve something. No, it is not a good desire, because when I told myself that I don't want to be feeling fear, that means that I feel fear. The ego will never use grammar or sentence to reach the goal. You need to construct the sentence without possibility that there is a counter form of it. Whenever you say to yourself, I don't want to be embarrassed, you will be embarrassed because you are using a negative wish. Never put your desire or wish in a negative way, only in the positive. So, I don't want to be fear, usually is better, I want to be brave. Now, never put your desire in a future tense, because if you say, I want to be brave as a Hercules, that means that you're still not brave. And will be, it's something which can be maybe tomorrow, maybe day after tomorrow, or probably never. We all know when we plan something, usually plans for tomorrow, it's bullshitting. Do it for today. So always turn wish and desire in a, I don't know in English how to say, present tense, I think. I am brave. I am brave. I am strong. I am emotionally independent. And so on. I hope you understand what is precise way of how you will proclaim your desire. Later, you will construct sigil using the letter which, when you drop off repetition letter, you can construct the form, but never to resemble and be similar to what your desire is. So, if you want to be strong, saying, I am strong, please don't draw sigil of the muscle or lion or something which is strong. No, in that way, you're building a pathway. You're building a vector value which your ego will find and build a counter-strike against. This is exactly why in our magical life, with all our symbols, scrying mirrors, magical mirrors, evocations, invocations, rites, with every talent, lucid dreaming, astral projection, third eye, sixth eye, 66th eye, you are not able to fulfill your desire because there is a spy in your army. Every plan that you build, your spy, your subconsciousness, come to your selfhood, to the program which is primarily in your mind, which simply destroy everything which that programs assimilate as unreal. And desire is something which is unreal. Why? Because you don't have it. If you have it, it would be real. But if you don't have it and want something, then it is not real. And for your ego, it is a dangerous enemy. Everything which is not knowing, every country which is not traveled by you for the first time, it's dangerous. Remember your mother when we were a child, first time when you are going out, she said, watch yourself, especially in the dark, especially with the company which is so like criminal. Watch yourself. Don't they took me away from you. Come to your mother, to your house, to be safe, to have dinner, to be normal, just like everybody else. Don't go. This is the main nature of your secret, small nature inside you, which is frightened for everything that is new. And there is nothing more new like desire, like wish.